Let's get right into it. Number 10. The B-21 Raider. Northrop Grumman just unveiled what looks like a UFO that mated with a paper airplane. This is the B-21 Raider, America's first new stealth bomber in over 30 years, and it's so secretive that even the people working on it probably had to wear blindfolds during their lunch breaks. This flying wing is designed to be the ghost in the machine of modern warfare. It can carry both conventional bombs and nuclear warheads, and it's so stealthy it could probably sneak into your garage and replace your car without you noticing. Its radar signature is supposedly smaller than a bird. Unlike old military hardware, the B-21 uses something called open architecture, which means it can be upgraded like your smartphone, except instead of new emojis, it gets better ways to be invisible and more lethal. This plane is also designed to be optionally manned, meaning it can work with or without pilots. It's like a really expensive RC plane that can deliver freedom from 50,000 feet. The Air Force is ordering at least 100 of them, at about $700 million each. That's like buying a fleet of Lamborghinis that can fly and disappear. What we're seeing is just the tip of the iceberg. The most advanced stealth features are still highly classified. Number 9. Hypersonic Un-dodge-ables. Imagine you're playing a video game, and suddenly your character just dies. No warning, no chance to dodge, no time to react. In real life, that's pretty much what new hypersonic weapons do. But speed is only half the story. Regular ballistic missiles follow a predictable arc, kind of like throwing a baseball. You can calculate where they'll land, but these hypersonic nightmares can change direction mid-flight, making them nearly impossible to intercept. It's like trying to catch a fly hopped up on energy drinks. The tech was top secret until very recently, but now the US, China, and Russia have all gone public with their programs, kicking off a new and terrifying arms race. The air around them gets so hot as they fly, it turns into plasma, the same stuff the sun is made of. They literally create a shield of star stuff around themselves. Here's the real nightmare. These weapons can carry nuclear warheads, a nuclear missile that you can't shoot down, can't dodge, and won't even see coming. Some experts call them first strike weapons, because if you have them, you could theoretically win a war before the other side even knows it started. Number 8. The Replicator Initiative. The Pentagon just announced something straight out of a sci-fi movie. They're calling it the Replicator Initiative, and they plan to build thousands of autonomous robots and drones in the next 18 to 24 months. Usually when the military announces something like this, they're talking about a few prototypes, but this time, they're going full Terminator. They want to mass-produce these things faster than your local Starbucks makes coffee. The goal is to have swarms of cheap autonomous systems that can operate in the air, on land, and at sea. These aren't your typical multi-million-dollar military toys. They're designed to be cheap and disposable. The Pentagon calls them attritable, which is military speak for, we don't mind if they get blown up. The idea is to overwhelm enemy defenses with sheer numbers. Why shoot down one expensive drone when you can send 100 cheap ones? It's like trying to swat a swarm of mosquitoes with a baseball bat. They're planning to have these things operating autonomously, making their own decisions based on AI. We're basically creating an army of flying, swimming, and crawling robots that can think for themselves. The military assures us they'll maintain human oversight, but when you have thousands of robots operating at once, how much oversight can you really have? And this isn't some far-off fantasy. They want this operational within 2 years. Number 7. Project Mayhem. Imagine you're chilling outside one night and see what looks like a shooting star. But that's not a meteor. That's America's newest spy plane screaming across the sky at over Mach 5. Project Mayhem is basically what you'd get if the legendary SR-71 Blackbird had a baby with a space shuttle. This hypersonic aircraft is so fast, it literally turns the air around it into plasma. The plane's nose can reach temperatures hot enough to melt steel. It doesn't even need rockets to go that fast. It uses something called a scramjet engine. Regular jet engines have spinning fans, but at hypersonic speeds, those parts would tear themselves apart. So a scramjet has no moving parts. It just lets the air rush through special tubes that compress it naturally, using the plane's incredible speed. The air comes in so fast, the combustion happens at supersonic speeds. The whole airframe is designed to surf on its own shockwave. By the time an adversary spots it on radar, it's already 3 countries away. It's like trying to catch a bullet with chopsticks, except the bullet is the size of a bus. And unlike its grandpa, the SR-71, Project Mayhem can actually maneuver at these insane speeds. This new bird can dance through the sky like a caffeinated hummingbird, just at 7 times the speed of sound. Number 6. The M-SHORAD laser truck. Imagine you're at a barbecue and there's an annoying fly buzzing around your hot dog. Now imagine that fly is a $1 million enemy drone, and your fly swatter is a 50-kilowatt laser beam that can melt it into a puddle of goo. That's the Army's new laser truck. This thing looks like a regular armored vehicle, but it's hiding a laser weapon that can fry drones right out of the sky. And the best part? It's completely silent and invisible. No explosions, no pew-pew sounds. Just an invisible death beam that turns enemy drones into falling space junk. This laser truck can run for hours without needing to reload. As long as it has fuel for its generator, it can keep zapping drones all day. Compare that to regular anti-aircraft missiles that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars per shot. This laser costs about $1 per zap. That's cheaper than your morning coffee. There is a catch. The laser needs a clear line of sight. Rain, fog, or dust can mess with its aim. But when the weather's good, this thing is a drone's worst nightmare. The Army has already used it to shoot down dozens of drones in tests, and they're planning to deploy these laser trucks as early as next year. Number 5. The Manta underwater drone. Imagine you're a submarine captain, patrolling the deep ocean, thinking you're alone, but there's something else in those dark waters, something that's been silently watching you for months. Meet the Manta, the military's newest underwater spy. This unmanned underwater vehicle, or UUV, is designed for long-range, long-duration missions without any human support. It doesn't need to come up for air, doesn't need to refuel, and can stay hidden in the depths for months at a time. This drone is massive, but it moves through water like a ghost. It uses glider technology, changing its buoyancy to sink and rise. As it moves up and down, its huge wings turn that vertical movement into forward motion. Because it's not using noisy propellers or engines, it's completely silent. And in the ocean, silence is an invisibility cloak. It's packed with sensors that can detect everything from enemy submarines to underwater mines. Think of it as the ocean's persistent security camera, but one that can follow you around without you ever knowing it's there. So next time you're on a boat, you might not be alone. There could be a silent, patient, bus-sized robot watching your every move from the abyss. Number 4. The Angler and Claude space robots. Imagine you're a satellite, just minding your own business, orbiting Earth, when suddenly a robotic arm reaches out from the darkness of space and grabs you. This isn't a scene from a movie. This is the US military's newest toy. Meet the Angler and Claude space robots. Think of them as space mechanics who could also be space repo men. Officially, these robots are designed to repair and service friendly satellites in orbit, which is an incredible feat of engineering. They can perform delicate repairs that used to be impossible, extending the lives of billion-dollar assets. But the tech that lets you gently fix a satellite also lets you not so gently grab an enemy one. These robots can grab, disable, or straight up yoink enemy satellites right out of orbit. This technology was top secret for years, but now the military is finally showing it off, and it's both amazing and terrifying. These robots are basically giant space crabs with PhDs in mechanical engineering, capable of manipulating objects with incredible precision while floating in zero gravity. It's like space piracy, but with government approval. The public unveiling of this capability signals that space is no longer just a high ground for observation, but an active, physical battlefield. Number 3. Synthetic blood substitutes. You're a medic on the battlefield. You have a wounded soldier, they're bleeding out, and you need blood fast. But blood has a short shelf life, needs to be refrigerated, and you have to match the blood type. The military just declassified something wild. Synthetic blood substitutes. Think of it like having a universal phone charger, but for humans. This artificial blood works with any blood type, doesn't need refrigeration, and can last on a shelf for over a year. It's not actually blood, it's a delivery service for oxygen. Imagine tiny artificial cells, about 1/50th the size of your red blood cells, zipping through your veins like microscopic Uber Eats drivers. But instead of delivering pizza, they're delivering life-saving oxygen to your tissues. You could leave this stuff in a hot Humvee in the middle of the desert, and it would still work fine. The military has been working on this for decades, with a lot of failures along the way. But now they've finally cracked a formula that's stable and effective, and it's going public. Soon, hospitals could be placing orders. No more blood shortages, no more checking blood types in an emergency. Just grab a bag off the shelf and plug it in. Number 2. The Quicksink Program. The Air Force just figured out how to turn any warship into a submarine permanently. In movies, it takes dozens of bombs and missiles to sink a massive ship. So the Air Force did it in one shot. They took regular 2,000-pound bombs, slapped on some new guidance systems, and created something that makes naval commanders lose sleep at night. The bomb doesn't even need to score a direct hit on the deck. It's designed to explode in the water underneath the ship. The explosion creates a massive, powerful air bubble. This bubble violently lifts the ship's hull and then collapses. And this is where physics gets real nasty. The empty space left by the collapsing bubble removes all support from under one section of the ship, and the extreme weight of the vessel does the rest of the work. The ship literally breaks its own back. The scariest part? They tested this on a massive target ship and sank it with just one bomb. One bomb, one multi-billion-dollar warship, straight to the bottom. They can launch these from bombers flying miles away in any weather, day or night. With this program now public, the Air Force has turned the ocean into an even scarier place. Number 1. Quantum gravity sensors. Imagine you're commanding a nuclear submarine hiding deep under the ocean. You're running silent, thinking you're completely invisible. You're not. The military just declassified something from the absolute edge of science fiction. They've built sensors so sensitive they can detect a submarine not by sound, not by heat, but by measuring its tiny effect on gravity itself. Everything with mass creates its own gravitational field, but until now, we could only measure the gravity of huge things, like planets. These new quantum sensors have changed everything. They are so ridiculously sensitive, they can detect the gravitational disturbance of a submarine moving through water from miles away. It's like feeling someone's footsteps by detecting their weight shifting the floor, except the floor is the entire ocean. These sensors don't just work on submarines. They can detect underground bunkers, hidden tunnels, or even secret missile silos. The tech works by using supercooled atoms suspended in a quantum state. When the gravity from a nearby mass affects these atoms, they change in ways we can precisely measure. Remember how your phone uses GPS? GPS can be jammed or blocked, but you can't jam gravity. These sensors could become a new, unjammable way to navigate. The military kept this tech secret for years, but now that it's public, it could change everything. Next time you think something is safely hidden, remember, not even gravity can keep your secrets anymore. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.